Walter, I guess we got to make this video.
PEDs and steroids. Same question, same answer. I didn't touch the stuff.
Number one, I don't do it.
Do you take steroids? The answer to that is no. I've always told the truth. I still tell the truth.
We wouldn't be a 2022 fitness influenza if we didn't talk about the Liver King and the Liver King lie. It's been going around social media. By now, I will assume you have seen the video. It has accumulated over 3 million views. In case you haven't, here's the short summary. This mythical figure known as the Liver King, who talks about ancestral wisdom in order to attain life happiness, longevity, health, so on and so forth, who clearly has an outrageous physique, was found to be lying about his natural status and found to be using performance-enhancing drugs. I decided to make this video because, quite frankly, the Liver King released an apology video, which may be one of the worst apology videos I've personally seen on YouTube. You see, usually the influencer arc, you're around for 2, 3, 4 years, you do something atrocious, and then you have your redemption arc. You release a shitty apology video, and then you gradually claw yourself out of the dirt, out of the ground, and then people hopefully forget about it. You know the video was bad, the apology, when within the first 30 seconds, part of his excuse for why he did it is that he's absurdly wealthy.
Before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous.
Let's take a step back though. It's not just about the Liver King himself lying, because we know so many individuals do this in the community. I'm talking from the natural community perspective, the natural lifting community, why this actually matters.
I've always told the truth. I still tell the truth.
It's very important that we judge people as being innocent until proven guilty. That is our system. When I first started making videos, letting people know, this is probably 2011 or 2012, it wasn't spoken about in the industry, but there were people that were claiming to be natural who were clearly enhanced. And why is this dangerous? Well, let's once again define this very neatly for everyone out there. Because they, accrue wealth, notoriety, fame, and clout based upon their physique and their accomplishments, which are largely aided by being on PEDs. And it's dangerous because they are lying about it, and people are assuming what they're doing works because of the way they look, rather than they do something to make them look a certain way, and what they're espousing, what they're talking about, might in fact be bullshit. So it's very important. Over a decade ago, there were a lot more people like this, not making, allegedly, according to him, hundreds of millions of dollars, but influential figures in the space. So I spoke about this because I am someone, if someone tells me something in secrecy and asks me to keep it private, I will, that I found out that there were individuals in the community who are obvious when you take a look at them. So they're the outliers that are absurdly enhanced, kind of like the Liver King, right? Where let's just say that physique is not possible for at least 99.9% of the population, unless we're dealing with a true outlier, to attain naturally. So we know they're enhanced, right? We know we have a large degree of suspicion. So I made the videos. I was one of the early progenitors of the whole idea that there are people claiming to be natural who are in fact not. So let's call them fake naturals. Now this turned into the natty witch hunt over the years, which from its outset had maybe noble intentions of trying to expose the idea that people are giving bad information and using their physiques to sell said bad information. However, it kind of snowballed into something like the Spanish Inquisition or the witch trials, where people were found to be guilty without striking evidence, just merely by judging their physique.
How do you know she is a witch? She looks like one!
And that's a dangerous line of thought, judging someone before we have concrete evidence. And this is one of the problems where people feel powerless, understandably so, where they want to better their community and they can't do anything because the science of detecting steroids is behind people's ability to mask it. So we have this asymmetry where we can't conclusively prove that someone's enhanced, and thus we're kind of powerless. And some people, charlatans, will use that to their advantage, where they can make these outrageous claims and they're not held to be accountable. But in our state of being powerless, we can't willy-nilly accuse people. We need to believe once again in the whole concept of innocent until proven guilty. And that's why we have to follow the principles, and instead, in my personal opinion, we should choose to platform good content creators and create a community. The whole idea of like-minded individuals working towards a common goal, which is bettering the community via giving practical information of high utility, taking a more evidence-based approach, all those things. And that's what I've tried to do over the last decade. But if we just start accusing people without having the evidence, it becomes dangerous, because you become judge, jury, and executioner, which your own personal beliefs and suspicions suspicions rather than concrete evidence. We as consumers, the question might be, or we as a community, more importantly, what can we do about this? Because we know this is a problem, and this is kind of an easy layup that we were given where we could point and say, aha, this is something, we've known it all along. But that's not the end of the conversation. In fact, this is the beginning of the conversation, and that's why I shouted out Zach. And I'm obligated, let's say, because in the video that now has over 3 million views, he gave examples of channels that gave out good practical information. I think there's 7 or 8, and I appreciate it. He shouted out my channel. If you have to watch one particular portion, I would watch Zach's, which is from like minute 13, I'll link it in the description, where he defines what being a charlatan is. But essentially, it's someone who chooses to profiteer off of their community for their own benefit. And I think this is the key point right here, that we have to stop platforming people that don't keep up to date with information, or even more importantly, give out misinformation, sometimes knowingly, and that's where it gets dangerous. And some of the key, easily identifiable signs would be making absolute statements that have no evidence to back it out. Outrageous claims. Remember, we said in the previous video that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. If you say, I have this hidden, way of training, this new methodology. Oh, you've been trained this way. You want to build your muscles. You're after hypertrophy. Well, this way is better than any other way. Well, you're making a claim that out of the thousands of training programs, yours is the absolute best to have a marked difference. You need to back that up. So anyone that makes outrageous claims, anyone that's unwilling to have a conversation with other people in the community to challenge their opinions, because in an open forum, you should have the ability, or you should be willing to exchange ideas rather than just put out information, not talk to anyone else, and just say, I'm right, and have your minions agree with you. It becomes dangerous as a content creator because your ego gets boosted to extreme levels where you start believing everything that you say. And because gradually over time, it's called the graveyard of people that don't believe your bullshit. They don't follow you. So all that's left are your minions or your zealous followers. They'll believe everything you say. So now you don't have to factually check what you say, whether or not it's true. You're just saying things and it's assumed by your followers to be true. And that's what happens. So don't be afraid to question anyone. Don't just easily willy-nilly. These are rough heuristics I'm giving you, so dirty fast rules that are useful here. Don't believe people that speak in absolutes, that aren't willing to update their information over time, and usually they have some sort of gimmick. Everyone's doing something this way, you should do it that way. Do we remember back in the day someone said doctors hate them?
I'm gonna take a huge bite out of these testicles.
And that is because they have to pivot themselves as kind of an iconoclast, but they're really peddling pseudoscience. The last thing I want to say, I believe in the community. I believe in the future. I believe in the youth. I believe in the next generation carrying that mantle because I saw it over a decade ago how it was. And we have to hold on to that hope. We can't be cynical. We can't be jaded. It can't be one of the things, yeah, the industry is shit. It's like, well, if you like a community, if you like a neighborhood, if you want to improve it, you got to do something about it. So this is the start. This is the beginning. I've seen a lot of takes on it. As someone who was there since the beginning, the inception from 2009, I felt it important to make this video, give my perspective, and more importantly, what we can do as a community, because that is what is most important. Thank you so much for watching this video. We're back, Walter. I have these training videos I want to talk about, but as the news just keeps leaking, of course, it's important to frame this. And I do think that I have the time and the experiential knowledge to give a little bit more insight. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the damn video. I'll see all you guys, my rascals, in that next one. Peace.
Those jorts, they look stupid.
And you look submissive and breedable.
But seriously, why jean shorts?
Because we believe in freedom. The freedom to choose to wear outrageously comfortable jorts that perfectly frame your luscious glutes.
My eyes are up here, Chief.
Rascal jean shorts. Perfect for hoisting big weights. Perfect for karate. Perfect to fight the existential apathy we all feel in this vacuous social media age.
My wife said it's me or the jorts. I've never looked better.